makes me quite sad to think about how transient human connection and relationships are. And I'm realizing this more and more. And I think it's something that's very apparent on film shoots when you're there as an extra. And the whole vibe of that is like, it can be quite strange. It can be very strange because the connections you form with people, it's kind of like outside the normal societal boundaries. It's a very weird place to find yourself in. This kind of three main points that I want to talk about, all to do with the connections you make on a film shoot when you're being an extra. The first group of people you meet, or the first person or group of people that you meet when you get to a film shoot, is the people who you sit next to in the holding area, right? So you sit down next to whoever, you start talking, and they kind of become your buddies for the day. Like when you go back to the unit base, they are your kind of anchor to the unit base. They become the people who you sit next to whenever you come back from the set. The second group of people, or the second person, whatever, is the person who you talk to when you're actually doing actions on set, when you're given directions, like when the camera's on. And I think both of them are so crazily, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-permanent. Even though I find it so, like, I find that it makes me so happy to talk to people, to talk to new people, to like joke with them and banter with them. And then I find that I don't really talk to them at all for the rest of the day, which kind of sucks. So you get to unit base, you make friends with 2 or 3 people, whatever. Then you're called onto set. You're put in like a walking scene. Say you're walking into a school. You're walking into the school, like I was today, and you're walking with 2 or 3 people. I was walking with these 2 girls, one of which is from my hometown, but I don't know her at all. So we ended up talking a lot, and it was really good, and we gelled really well, and it was a great vibe. And one of them, the other girl, I thought was quite attractive, and I was like kind of like flirting with her a small bit. I was like, okay, this is cool, this is nice. I was just enjoying the moment, not like expecting it to go anywhere per se. Yeah, I mean it didn't, because first of all I asked her age and she said she was 22. I'm 19, that's a bit old. And then she also said she had a boyfriend. She like dropped it casually in conversation. She was like, yeah, me and my boyfriend were out for food the other day, and I was like, oh, are we for real? But anyway, whatever, we move. She was like laughing at all our jokes and stuff, and we were like laughing along and stuff, and having like good chats, whatever. And I thought it was like all well and good. Yeah, that's fun, right? It was really fun as well. But then her friend from college was there as well, and I saw, like, at one point she went over to him when we were all sitting down waiting for our next call, and I could see her, like, it's like her demeanor like completely changed, her personality like just switched up like that. And it was crazy that, like, I thought that was like her, it's crazy how she could like switch up. No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, because obviously people act differently around different people. But it's kind of put into perspective for me how like I can have these like really nice moments, these really like almost intimate moments with people, where we're all laughing at each other's jokes and genuinely like talking about like ourselves, getting to know each other. But it doesn't actually mean anything, because at the end of the day, like, that girl has her own life, that girl is going about her own shit, she's got her own friends, her own like commitments, her own shit to do, and so do I. And it just makes me think, like, damn, I'm probably never, like, I might see her again, right, but I'm probably never gonna like be friends with her, if you get me. Stuff like that takes a lot of effort, especially because she was from like really far compared to where I'm from, and it's just kind of like, it's a bit disappointing, especially because there comes a point where everyone gets like super mega tired as well, and no one really wants to like do anything, and everyone wants to go home. While I might have like a great time with people, it's just in the moment, and it's not really gonna last, or it's not guaranteed to turn into like a friendship or anything, even more so a relationship, you know. That is something that's on my mind sometimes. I'm like, what if I meet someone doing one of these extra things that I like really get on with well? But I suppose you can't really expect that. You gotta just do it and then live and see what the crack is, see what happens, I suppose. You can't force it, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and the other thing is that when you do make these connections on the set, you go back to unit base, and then you have your friends from earlier who you were talking to, and now they were off making their own friends on set. You weren't with them when the cameras were rolling, you were with the other people. But now you come back to unit base and you see these people again from earlier, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna sit next to them because they're my friends who I spoke to earlier, and who I want to, I kind of feel obliged almost to like sit with them, because that's just what it ended up being at the start, so this is gonna be it. Yeah, and then the people who you met on the set when the cameras were rolling, they go off and sit with their own people who they met that morning. And I find myself caught in this weird duality of like, I want to go back and speak to the people who I was speaking to in the morning and kind of like catch up with them, see what the crack is, see how they're feeling, see how they're doing. But also I find more of a I'm more drawn back to the people who I was with when the cameras were rolling, that we were doing the actions with, because we have more of a shared context and we have more of a shared journey together. But I find that I can't really do that because those people already have gone back to their people from the morning. So that leaves me in a weird place. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. And oftentimes today I found myself like just standing up from like my morning group, and wandering around the base and seeing like who is where. Today was a bit of a weird one because it was like 3 separate rooms. It was like a room, a kitchen, and then 2 more rooms with like maybe 20 people in each room. Bro, you cannot see shit, what the fuck. So that was that. I didn't like, and everyone was already talking, and I couldn't like, especially the girl who I thought was like pretty or whatever. I was getting on with her, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna go see if I can find her. And then she was talking to her friend from college, who I actually ended up talking to, like, or I tried to talk to him later, but he wasn't really interested in it. It's like, how is she getting on so well with him and like not as well with like me, if you get me? Like, not to sound like entitled or selfish or whatever, but it's like, it is crazy how like people have different personalities for everyone. I do find that I act a lot differently with my friends than I do with these like random cunts who I meet, like with Celtic Casting, with movie extras, because there's no like pressure there. I suppose there's no like, I'm never gonna see these people again, which is the other side of this. I'm never going to see these people again. I'm not going to realistically make friendships with them. But that also can be interpreted in a quite like liberating sense, because there is no pressure to do anything. You can be as embarrassing as you want, and you can say the most stupid shit that you want, and it doesn't matter because you're not going to see these guys again. That being said, I feel like people, whenever I'm on a shoot in Dublin, I feel like I don't like mesh as well with people as I do when I'm like in Limerick or Cork, which is kind of crazy. I feel like there is quite a bit of a societal / upbringing difference that makes it kind of hard for us to relate to each other almost. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, I have gotten on really well with a lot of Dublin people, but like the people who I end up like talking to the most end up being from like other parts of the country, like the 2 girls from today. Like, I met this guy from Meath the other week. He was also really chill. I liked him. And then the third thing is the people who you meet on previous film shoots that you met, who you see again on new film shoots. There is, like, again, kind of a pressure there to be like, oh, hey, how's it going? I remember you, which feels very performative, and I don't like it. It sucks, man. Like, oh yeah, well, obviously this is like crazy first world problems. Oh, my life is so difficult. But yeah, man, people be like existing and having their own lives. But yeah, the more film shoots I'm on, the more I realize, like, damn, life is about people, man. Like, if there is no people, then there is no meaning, I don't think. Like, to me, the meaning of life is just talk to people and get to know them and banter with them, laugh with them, but also treat them with respect. Because the last thing you want to do is make someone uncomfortable and piss them off, but again, that's because I'm so used to, like, I'm not going to see these people again, and nothing that I say matters. I love my friends, and I love people, and I love hanging out, and I love doing extras work, because while it is kind of like, it can be like a slog and it can be really shit in the moment, it's kind of like we're all doing this shit together, you know. You do kind of get a sense of community almost when you're all doing a shitty job, or it's not shitty, but it's kind of like boring and repetitive, and you're just sitting there a lot of the time, not even being used in the scene. There does come a sense of like community, and you almost have a shared like purpose. You're like, okay, we exist in this space together. There is nothing else for us to do except talk to each other. And sometimes people don't talk, and sometimes it's mega fucking awkward, and that's when I get a bit pissed off. Or not pissed off, but I'm like, oh, come on, like, it is a bit annoying. Especially when I'm trying my best and it's met with like complete silence. When people just don't respond to like whatever I say, bro, that shit's the worst. Fucking hate that. At least make an effort, man. At least pretend to laugh at my shitty joke, you know. I don't know if this makes sense. I don't know if this is coherent at all, but we'll see how it goes when I edit it. But yeah, anyway, I would recommend for everyone to do extras work. I don't know why people don't do it. It is like, I would say it is genuinely beneficial for gaining like people experience, and you do kind of, you start to read people a lot, and you start to realize things. You start to realize what kind of person you like versus what kind of person you don't like, and how to navigate all of these social situations, which is really good. It has been really beneficial for me in finding out the kind of person that I want to hang out with, that I want to like be with, even relationship wise, that I see in girls. Like, I find it a lot more fun talking to girls than talking to guys on film shoots, because I feel like you can just have more fun. You can just have like a laugh with it more. And then with guys, it's kind of like, oh, what's good, bro? Yeah, you play sports? Yeah, I play sports. What do you play? Where are you from? Yeah, no, I like doing the things you like doing too. Let's do them together sometime. And then you exchange WhatsApps and nothing ever fucking happens. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't think making long-term friends at an extras gig is very feasible, especially because a lot of people already know each other anyway. But you can make the most of it by like just enjoying the moment, I suppose, which is another big life philosophy that I've found. Enjoy the moment and live life in spurts. Today was one long spurt for me, and it was a very fun one. It was a fun day, even if it was a bit of a slog. Like, I enjoy talking to people so fucking much, and it really makes this extra shit worth it for me. Even if I have to travel all the way up to Dublin, I still think it's really worth it, and I still have a great time. But it's more like we're hanging out when we do extra shit, so like, it's fun, it's fine. It's like hanging out with friends, and there's so little pressure there that you can just say whatever, do whatever, and it's fine. Even if you would like more, even if you would like to be friends with someone, or you would like to hang out outside of extra stuff, sometimes that's just, like, most of the time that's just not going to happen. Very rarely does that happen, in my experience anyway. So hopefully I can continue to do this, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I'm happy though. Living my best life right now. My life's the best it's ever been. You can tell from the way I'm smiling.